Let's talk Teams Premium again. Back when Teams Premium was released, I made a series of videos looking at the new features. But there were certain features, despite being advertised in the headlines of what Teams Premium was bringing for users, were conspicuously absent. One of these was webinar communications. So back in July, this was finally added. And I want to take a quick look at it, as I think for many of you who might currently be relying on other platforms for webinars rather than Teams, this is one of the big features that might help you to change your mind and see Teams as an option. But before we dive into this new feature, let's take a moment to review what Teams webinars are. Teams webinars was not a new feature with Teams Premium. For some time you have been able to set up meetings in Teams in such a way that they require registration and act like webinars. But Teams has long lacked many of the bells and whistles of a platform like Zoom, which has dedicated webinars functionality, though at a much heftier price tag. Around the time of the initial release of Teams Premium, Microsoft also completely redesigned its webinars creation and management process. But what was confusing is that much of this new functionality was not actually part of Teams Premium. The majority of the new experience applied to all Teams licenses, and all that Teams Premium really added were some gatekeeper controls on registration and promised but conspicuously absent features like communications management. If you're finding this video useful, please do hit the like button. And if you'd like to see more content like this, please subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon so you know the next time I upload a video. Also, if there are people in your network who would find content like this useful, then please do consider sharing it there too. But now the wait is over. Communications management is now present in Teams webinars. So let's jump into Teams and take a look. So here we're in the new Teams Windows client, and I'm going to go ahead and create a webinar. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to click on the drop down next to New Meeting, and I'm going to select Webinar. And I'm going to go ahead and enter the information I want. And once I'm happy with everything, I'm just going to go ahead and save, and that's going to create the booking on my calendar. And now I'm going to drop down to the Communications tab, and you can see here I now have the ability to edit these communications. You can see these from any webinar, but to see the edit button and to see this time change, you need to have a Teams Premium license, it seems. So I'm going to click on edit, and you can see I have the ability to change the sender's name. I do not have the ability to change the sender's address. I can edit the subject. I can add in some dynamic content, and I can go ahead and I can edit the email itself. So I can add in links if I want to. I can add in dynamic content from the event. I have complete control over the layout of this. I don't have the ability to change my logo or banner image here. These are something that are set up for the event itself. And I can preview my email from here. And similarly, I can go through and I can change any of these emails. I can also, for the webinar reminder, I can click on this and I can select how many hours or days that reminder is sent before my event. So here I've just jumped over to another user that doesn't have a Teams Premium license, and I'm going to go ahead and create a webinar. I'm going to show you the experience in communications. So you can see here, I can see the communications, but all I'm able to do is preview the email. I can't edit it, and I can't edit when the email is going to be sent. So you can see clearly there the difference in experience between having a Teams Premium or just a basic Teams license. So there you have it. This, in my opinion, is one of the most important changes to webinars that makes the webinars product in Teams much more exciting. However, there are some important caveats. The first caveat is that the licensing of these features is as clear as mud. My initial understanding had been that any communication management needed Teams Premium, but the support page related to it implies that the Teams Premium feature is editing the sending time of email, not editing the emails themselves. However, as you saw, I was not able to get either feature working outside of Teams Premium. So based on my experience, the documentation is misleading, and you do indeed need Teams Premium to either edit the emails or change their send time. Secondly, it seems you can only change the send time of your reminder, not all the emails, and you cannot add additional custom emails. So if your dream was to do some marketing drip feeding activity leading up to your webinar using this capability, that is not there just yet. It is undoubtedly useful to be able to modify the default text of the emails that you get sent out, but there are still nice to haves that aren't there. Lastly, I wasn't able to get the same experience in the classic Teams client. Nothing in the documentation implies you need the new Teams client for this, so your mileage may vary. I would really like to be able to add custom emails. I would also like to be able to modify the reply to address or even allow Teams to send the emails on behalf of my mailbox. Lastly, I'd like to be able to switch these emails off completely and rely on something custom in Power Automate if I wanted. This gives you more control, but not the amount of control that would be ideal. I think conceptually this feature adds a lot of potential to webinars. Unfortunately, the execution is not currently worth the hype. And like so many other aspects of Teams Premium, this is not the killer feature that just knocks it out the park. Also, importantly, we are still missing a key feature that is a necessity for many businesses that use webinars as part of their work, and that's pre-meeting payments. So far as I'm aware, this isn't even on the horizon, and there are some ways around this if you're willing to take payment during a meeting rather than ahead of time. See the link to this video down below if you're interested in that. But no solution that's ideal to the use case many businesses have described to me is here or even on the horizon. Personally, I think the webinar feature in Teams is undervalued. Even with the Teams Premium add-on, it comes in significantly more economical than a platform such as Zoom. And while it doesn't have every feature you see there, in terms of value, it's incredibly feature-rich. I do use this tool on occasion, and for the purposes of having a one-to-many delivery mechanism with web-based pre-registration, it works great. I think the new communication options are a real enhancement, but not to the level that I hoped. However, if you've previously opted not to use webinars in Teams because of the lack of features like this, it might be time to take another look. I hope this video has been useful to you. Thanks for watching till the end. Until the next one, bye bye.